What's going on, people? It's Smooth the Barber. I'm coming back at you today with another fade. It's going to be a skin fade. I'm my boy Pablo. So let's get to it. Pablo is one of my newer clients. He came in from a barber not too far from where I'm at, and which I'm grateful for. So this is probably my third time cutting his hair, and everything's been good ever since I started. So today, getting that hair combed down, and I'm using those Andis GTX cordless. Start making my initial line. And I had a few issues with my edges, so I had to actually go back and adjust them. They were kind of getting caught on those long hairs for some reason. But fortunately, I know my tools well enough, so I was able to get them right. And all I really did was use those GTX clippers to start the line of where I want to start my fade. Then I go back in with the balding clippers, the Wahl balding clippers, bald everything out. Then I use those speed shavers to come in, really get a clean shave, and try not to go all the way up to the line with your speed shavers. Leave about a 1/4 inch between. And once you come back, use those edges to clean up that line, which is what you see me doing here. Do not use the speed shavers to go all the way up to that initial line. Again, leave about a 1/4 inch gap between so you can go back with your edges and clean up that line. A lot of times if you use those speed shavers and go all the way up to that line, it's going to be hard to erase. I got my Wahl 2 guards, using a Wahl 5-star cordless. Flicking out, kind of debulking really. I'm really just debulking so I can kind of get a sense of everything. I do that a lot. I'll debulk, then I'll come back and really get into the fading part. And I'm just flicking out as you see. You see me going in this direction is because the directional flow of his hair. So I'm going against that to really get a clean cut. Sometimes, depending on the client with straight hair, I'll actually dampen the hair. Not very, very saturated, but enough that it can lay down, and when the clippers hit, they just fall off. Got my Wahl 5-star cordless magic clips completely open. Flicking out. I went up about a 1/2 inch. Flicking out all the way around. Stay consistent all the way around. Keep everything nice and consistent. Then I come back, I close them completely to erase that second line. Just go all the way around, stay consistent. And I typically use a comb, but on a lot of my straight hair clients, I like to use that brush because you have a lot of residue that's left after you cut it, and that brush will just knock all that out. At this point, the magic clips are about midway open, and I'm really just on my trigger play game. So I go from completely open to completely closed to midway and in between, just trying to get those lines out of there, whatever line I might see. And throughout the entire cut, you might see, different things that you say, hey, I need to clean this up. So next I go to my one guard, and my one guard is completely open. And I'm using the same technique as far as how I'm cutting it. Instead of digging in, I'm kind of trying my best to flick out. And try to hover more than you just dig. Try to hover. Still using that flick out technique. You see the fade starting to come alive. Go back to your half guard. That half guard really helps a lot of times. And it's completely open. Just look at the lever. Completely open. All the way around. Do not dig in. Keep that flick out or that rake out motion. So basically the blade shouldn't be going in at a 45 or 50 or 60 angle. You should be trying your best to keep that blade barely touching it. And it's kind of going up at a 85 to 90 degree angle. And don't take the blade up too high. Don't take the clipper up too high. You really just want to target the area that you see. That way you don't have to go back. That way that fade doesn't keep going up and going up. And if you haven't noticed, look at the lever. My lever, when you got that half guard on, the lever goes from open to close and in between. A lot of trigger play. And I just seen an area towards the front of the hair that I was trying my best to try to get without moving my fade. I want my fade to stay where it's at. I don't want it to move higher. We really don't have too much more room anyway. So, and there's always parts of the hair that grow slightly different. Got my 1.5 guard. The lever's completely open. You see that rake out motion. Notice how I got my clippers. Notice the direction that I'm using to cut my clippers. The fade is in there. Staying light. I'm not digging in. I promise you, I'm not digging in. When I turn those clippers, it's because the hair is growing the complete opposite of the direction I'm going. So if the hair is growing down towards the right or left, I need to be going up towards the right or the left, depending on what side I'm on. I came back with my Andis Special Edition, and these are, I'm using a 4 guard. I was doing clipper over comb. I was doing shear over comb, but I realized it wasn't necessary. Just knock that down. Keep one at that length. It's not necessary. So I come back with my flat top comb. Keep it vertical to the head. Try your best not to dig in. Keep it vertical. That's what I'm doing. Pulling that out. You're not trying to cut big chunks out when you're using that flat top comb. Just keeping it vertical to the parietal ridge, or parallel to the parietal ridge, I should say. So this point, I'm just doing a little touch up, staying light. I got my trigger around the medium spot. Just touching up, not digging in, staying light. So one thing about Pablo, he was very adamant for no pushback. So all that really means is whoever he's went to prior to me, might have made him become more apprehensive about being pushed back. And I'm not saying whatever barber prior to me did anything wrong. Sometimes, as barbers, we might deem it necessary. But this is actually my first time doing an edge up on Pablo all the way around. Not just the vertical bars, but also that long horizontal bar. As I said, this is only my 3rd time cutting his hair, but this is the first time that I edge up the horizontal line across. I do my best to just stay as close as possible to the natural hairline without doing any extra. And with most clients, that's the most important. We always want that dark, crispy line. By the way, this is a natural haircut. I didn't do anything to it. We always want that dark, crispy line, but sometimes it's not necessary, especially if the client deems it not necessary. Anyway, finishing touches, I'm just using some shear over comb, gliding over the hair, not digging in. Not cutting off chunks, just doing similar to what I did with that flat top comb. Just grabbing small pieces here and there. Combing it back, resetting it to its natural growth lay. To where it lays naturally. That's what you're doing when you're combing it. I'm just gonna do this all the way around for a little bit before the service is over. As you see, man, the fade is looking good. So what I'm gonna do next, of course, is finish it up with that razor. Look at my gloves. My gloves just busted up. That happens. I just keep going. Once I get in that zone, I just keep going. Tap those vertical bars, pull the skin, tap away. No pushback. Pull the skin, tap away. Now, if you notice in my watch face, that is a protective cover. And since I've done this cut, I've actually gotten a few new covers. So don't just think I'm just raggedy looking. Everything looks good, man. It's just all coming together. That razor is a must for me. Any cut I do, except for some little kids, I'm finishing up with the razor. Hairline, eyebrows, beard, if they have a beard, finish up with that razor. Light little styling. There's really not a whole lot to style, but you know. And from some angles, I can see a light speck, but sometimes it's best to just leave well enough alone. You know, clean them off good, but you don't always want to go dig back into the fade. You see what we got. You see what we had. This is what we started with. This is how we finished. Nice fade, man. All the way around. Skin fade. So again, guys, it's Smooth the Barber. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you took something from this. I'm pretty sure you'll be seeing Pablo on some more of my videos. Follow me on Instagram, Smooth_the Barber, Facebook, Smooth the Barber, and TikTok, Smooth_.